The number one thing couples fight about, it's not what you think. Most people assume couples fight about cheating, money, or even intimacy. But studies show that the number one reason couples argue isn't what you think. In fact, it happens in almost every household. And it's so common that most couples don't even realize it's the root of their biggest fights. When asked, most people believe couples fight mainly about money problems, infidelity, or family issues. And while those are definitely major challenges, they're not the number one trigger for everyday conflict. The surprising truth? The top reason couples argue is much closer to home, literally inside the home. The number one thing couples fight about is chores and responsibilities. Yes, things like dishes, laundry, cooking, cleaning, or even who takes out the trash. At first glance, it might sound small, but here's why it's actually one of the biggest relationship stressors. Chores aren't really about chores. They represent fairness, respect, and partnership. When one person feels like they're doing more than the other, it creates feelings of resentment. Think about it. If you had a long day at work and you come home to a messy kitchen, you don't just see dirty dishes. You see a lack of support. You feel unappreciated. And that tiny frustration can quickly turn into a full-blown argument. And here's what's interesting. Research shows women, especially in the U.S., still do more household work on average, even when both partners work full-time. This imbalance often sparks frustration and long-term tension. When couples fight about chores, they're not just fighting about dishes. They're fighting about value. Do you appreciate me? Do you respect my effort? Am I in this alone, or do we share the load? That's why a simple comment like, "You never help around the house," often escalates into shouting, silent treatment, or bringing up old arguments. The fight was never about the trash. It was about feeling ignored. So, how do couples stop these fights before they spiral out of control? Here are a few proven strategies. Talk about expectations. Don't assume your partner knows what needs to be done. Divide based on strengths. Maybe one cooks and the other cleans. Rotate tasks. Switching responsibilities can keep things balanced. Show appreciation. A simple thank you goes a long way. Be flexible. Life happens. Sometimes one person may need to carry more, and that's okay as long as it balances out over time. Here's the bottom line. The number one fight couples have isn't really about chores. It's about teamwork and respect. When partners feel supported, small frustrations don't turn into big blowouts. So the next time an argument starts with something small, ask yourself, am I upset about the dishes, or am I feeling unheard and unappreciated? That small shift in perspective could save you hours of unnecessary conflict. If this video gave you something to think about, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this reminder today. And let me know in the comments, what's the smallest thing you and your partner ever fought about?